Alright, so occasionally we have things mess up on us, and sometimes it's just kind of nice to know how to fix things. So you can see here there's a gamsol streak or halo around these two little guys, and even though at first I thought that if we dried the gamsol with a hairdryer, it would be okay, and then we could put the pan pastels on afterwards, but it doesn't look like that's something that can be done. In fact, it has to dry naturally. Can't seem to be forced. But live and learn, and let's see if we can't fix it up. I don't find cardboard sturdy enough support. You see it just a little bit of more of a give, so I still use the MDF. And I've got a variety of light colors. So I think the cool gray 10 was in the palette, cream as well, but I've also added to try the French 20. So what I'm doing when I'm trying to fix or find these colors is see what will actually take away the dark kind of a color, which it looks to me like it's cream. We are on a lighter sort of warm color. Okay, and notice how I am, okay, this is the line that's bugging us, but what we have to do is just break it up. We don't actually have to get rid of it. And so to break it up, I'm doing a light pressure, and I am doing a, let me get a piece of paper. I'm doing more of this. Your eye comes to contrast between light and dark. And so even though you think, oh, I can't stand that, what you have to do is break the contrast by adding more. I know it seems counterintuitive. So if we can just break it up, and then we add our pan pastels over top. So that's what I'm trying to do here. What did I decide? I think I said cream was the color that I was going for. So notice I'm going all the way out here. Now you can't press too hard, because if you press hard, then you get a waxy buildup. You see, that right there is already breaking up Okay, so you're going all the way out. So do a little bit, and then take your pan pastels all the way out here even. Because you want it to look like you meant this all along. This was your plan. Alright, and then we will take perhaps a little bit of the bright green. Do we like the bright green? I kind of want to match up what's there already. Down here we wanted a little bit of the pink, the magenta. And again, remember, it's all about this little bit of, you know, smoke and mirrors kind of thing. This is what I planned. So we're going back with these two brighter colors first. And notice how I put them on, just like a little bit of here, a little bit there. Don't get so caught up in that. We're trying to break it up, and if you put every single thing on top of that line, then what's going to happen is, of course, you're just going to keep accentuating that line. So put some on and pull it away. And you can go back if you don't quite think you've got it. A few layers is always better. And of course, you know how we are. We're concentrating so much on that. Do what you can today, and then put it away for the day and look at it tomorrow. And be honest with yourself. Are you really seeing it, or do you only think you're seeing it? Well, I think it's a darn sight better. And just kind of there we go. Maybe we want green, do we? Not just pink. And remember, if you put on your Pan Pastel that you, oh, see, that's pretty good. If you don't like what you've done, you can always press off the pastel, and you can adjust it that way too. Okay, so I will continue up and around behind the mama. Same idea. You can see the marks a little bit more because this is darker. Remember to change direction and keep in mind that you're just breaking up the line. We're not trying to get rid of it, we're breaking it up. So then we will go into our two fun colors again. So the idea of this background was, you know, flowers, blotchy, pink, and then green, obviously. And then the light blue was just bringing in the sky. reflection atmosphere. Okay, and then we've got this raw umber. Which we used just a little bit in the background and at the bottom as well. And because we've gone a little bit darker there, here we go, we will probably have to just kind of go darker. Underneath. I'm just kind of blending it up. And then, again, you may have to sort of just go back. You can't use the Gamsol again until we've fixed this, so anything you do needs to be just done. There we go. I think the little flowers were white, so I'm just going to put in a couple more here. See, you're in charge of making the viewer look where you want them to look. So if we don't want them to see that anymore, and of course we are part of the viewer as group as well, then put in some things to look at that would be more interesting to look at. Okay, well, I think that's not too bad. I mean, maybe you can still see it. And maybe what we've learned, of course, for this particular project is, don't force the Gamsol. It does dry clear on its own, and then you can put the pens after. Or you just put the Pan Pastels on before. There we go. The other thing you could do is you can also take a matching pencil. So that could be one of the pastel colors. And I think magenta is a pretty good close match. For that pastel. And as long as you put it on in little tiny layers, little light layers, you can build up Okay, so now the only thing I don't like is the fact that this line there is all lined up, so we don't want that. And I would like to have a little bit more green, I think, in the background. Okay, so I think it's almost time for me to put it away. And quit fussing with it, but I don't know, kind of fun. I think I want just a little bit of pink right here. So all I'm doing is just trusting my eye. And creating the scene. Just give him a little dusting here. And then I'm going to go outside and I'll probably use workable fixative on it, just in case I want to come back and do a little bit more. But I'm trusting that when I look at it tomorrow that I won't see even the slightest bit of that halo effect. Because really, unless you're going to get obsessive about it, I think it's gone. Okay, so the biggest thing is not to concentrate on the mistake and just try to incorporate it into the background, to try to break up that line. It doesn't have to go away completely. It needs to be broken up, and you need to direct the viewer around all the lovely things you did do and get it away from that harsh line. And look at that. Lovely. All right. Hope you learned something. I certainly did. Thanks so much. Bye.